Greetings to everyone. I'm honoured to have this opportunity to share a reflection with you about our friend and protector, St. Joseph. Like many of us, I claim St. Joseph as a special friend. I have his name, I am a sister of St. Joseph, and I come from a family that had a strong devotion to this great saint. I've been invited to reflect briefly on St. Joseph under the title of Solace of the Afflicted. As we begin, I'd like to invite you to take a moment to recall that God is present with us and to ask St. Joseph to join us in this reflection. The title Solace of the Afflicted is a beautiful and very apt one for this loving, caring man, husband of Mary and earthly father of Jesus. We know that the word solace means to comfort, to bring consolation to those afflicted. That is, to anyone who is suffering in any way, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. To those suffering the effects of poverty, persecution, violence. To anyone who is disadvantaged, homeless, living as an outcast of society. The scriptures make it abundantly clear that Joseph, as husband and father, was always there to protect, comfort and console Mary and Jesus, even in the most difficult and dangerous situations. We know their story very well. Firstly, Joseph showed love and care for the pregnant Mary by receiving her into his house as his wife. He could have rejected her, exposed her to ridicule, condemnation, and even punishment. His care and concern for Mary was demonstrated again on their way to Bethlehem at the time of the census, and Mary started to feel the first pains of labour. Despite their best efforts, they were unable to find a room. They sought shelter in the stable where Jesus was. When Herod ordered the killing of all the children less than 2 years old in the area surrounding Jesus' birth, Joseph, to protect the child and his mother, set off by night for Egypt. Here they were refugees, exiles. Joseph was the one to provide some sort of security, the basic necessities, among unknown and perhaps hostile people. Then came the return to Judea after the death of Herod's son Archelaus, a bloodthirsty ruler who now occupied the throne. So fearing again for their lives, Joseph takes the family to Nazareth in Galilee, an isolated, insignificant, impoverished place where hopefully they would be safe. All such moves were fraught with problems. Packing their few possessions, shelter to be found, food to eat, and consideration and care to be given to a small child and a young mother. Joseph assumed all these duties with courage and determination. In Galilee, Joseph and his family joined the villagers at Nazareth, the majority of whom struggled to survive day by day. Burdened by debt and taxes, many lost their small pieces of land and, dispossessed of everything, were among the poorest of the poor. There Joseph took up his work as carpenter, provided for his family, and no doubt extended his care and concern to his impoverished neighbours. With Jesus, Word made flesh, and Mary overshadowed by the Spirit, Joseph played an important part in the story of redemption. The image of the Heavenly Father, he was endowed by God with all the gifts to be Jesus' earthly father. Silent and quietly hidden, but always there, without words, but communicating in deeds, receiving God's message in dreams and obeying without hesitation. Joseph's story is replicated today in 1,000 ways. Stories of poverty, homelessness, persecution and violence are reported daily in our news. COVID-19 has resulted in suffering and death across the world. Refugees are desperately looking for places where they can be safe. Ruthless regimes still perpetrate killings of innocent civilians, especially children. Just as Joseph reached out to those needing consolation, we are called to do likewise. First of all in our own families, and then in the wider family of God's children, especially the poor and the destitute. In a letter to her sisters, Mary MacKillop wrote of Joseph, "The love of Jesus consumed his heart. Let then love for Jesus and for all those he loves consume ours, and so make us worthy children of this most humble, generous, and most charitable of men." Thank you, and God bless you all.